Hippy, Guppy!
We all get very excited when we open legendary cards in Hearthstone, but some of us take that excitement to the next level.
Okay, und ein... Wollt ihr mich verarschen? Wollt ihr mich verarschen? Alter, bin ich der glücklichste Mensch im Universum, oder? Was? Was? Was?
Today, we will be talking about the top 10 legendaries in the standard format, up to and including the Whispers of the Old Gods expansion. So just to be clear, this list is based on the standard format, so there's no GVG and Naxxramas cards. Sorry Dr. Boom and Hammett. And also, this list is based on the current meta. Just remember that Hearthstone is a very dynamic game, and as expansions come in or a nerf comes in, some cards might not see any more play, where other cards might go from obscurity to becoming superstars. So keep them in mind as we list the top 10 legendary cards in Hearthstone Standard.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, champion.
It is fitting that the first entry on our list is the face of the Grand Tournament expansion. In WoW, Justica Trueheart is an NPC who hands us the quest chain to compete in the Argent tournament. In Hearthstone, on the other hand, she replaces our hero power with a better one. With the introduction of the Whispers of the Old Gods expansion, Priest as a class, and Control Priest specifically, fell out of favor with players due to the loss of some very good defensive cards like Deathlord and Lightbomb. So with Control Priest seeing less play, Justica can mainly be seen in Control and Cthulhu Warriors and some versions of Enzoth Paladin. In those decks, the outcome of the game is usually influenced by whether you draw Justica early or late in the game. For this reason, welcome to the number 10 spot on our list, Justica.
Behold the rage of the Firelands!
In the number 9 spot is arguably the best class legendary in Whispers of the Old Gods expansion. And of course, Ben Brode's favorite.
Okay, hold on. There's we're gonna show the Druid Legendary. This is definitely one of my favorite cards in the set. So get ready to have your mind blown.
It's one of your favorites. Well, that always scares me. Alright, 4 mana, 3/5, Fandral Staghelm.
At first glance, Fandral's 3/5 body for 4 mana looks very puny compared to his WoW counterpart, who is 8 feet high, 9,000 years old, creator of the Druids of the Flame, and Ragnaros' major domo. What makes Fandral a huge threat and a force to be reckoned with is his ability to apply both effects of choose one cards. For example, he can discover 1 card and 1 spell for 1 mana, he can do 4 damage to a minion and draw a card for 2 mana, he can gain 4 attack and 8 armor for 3 mana, he can summon a 4/6 taunt with charge for 5 mana, and a 10/10 taunt for 7 mana, to name a few. It is this ability to take over games that gives Fandral Staghelm the 9th spot on our list.
Jenkins!
From what started as a raid gone wrong in World of Warcraft, turned overnight into an internet sensation.
I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating of course, percentage of survival.
Well, that's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Blizzard, cheeky as they are, decided to immortalize Leroy in the game. And what is more appropriate for Leroy's flavor than a 6/2 legendary with charge? Leroy has had a tumultuous existence in the history of Hearthstone. Back in the old days, who could forget the dominant Miracle Rogue deck that could draw all its hands using the gadget sounds and then use Leroy as a finisher? Who could forget the crazy combo wombo of Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy, Shadow Step, Leroy, Cold Blood for a whooping 26 damage out of nowhere? So Blizzard, in the name of fun and balance, and in response to player cries everywhere, took the axe to both Leroy and Gadgetzan. To hammer the last nail into Miracle Rogue's coffin, Blizzard released Loatheb, who could delay the miracle for one turn. For a while, Leroy hit the bottle, having hit rock bottom. His charging days in the Miracle Rogue deck were over. Any minor charging gigs were handed down to the leaner, sexier 3 mana 4/2 Arcane Golem. But out of the blue, a miracle happened that changed Leroy's life forever. Blizzard decided to introduce the standard format, and with it, the rotation of some pesky defensive cards like Loatheb and Antique Healbot and Sludge Belcher. Also, Leroy's arch nemesis, the Arcane Golem, was hit by a nerf that crippled him and removed his charge ability, making Leroy the top dog in charging neutrals. And with the meta slowing down a little bit, the Miracle Rogue deck has seen a resurgence, and at the heart of it is Leroy, just like the old days. Leroy also sees some play in some versions of Phrenologue and Zoologue as a finisher. So 2 years later, when you hear the battle cry of
Leroy Jenkins!
you probably know that's already too late for you, but at least you had chicken.
Put your faith in the light!
From the early days of Hearthstone, Tirion Fordring was considered one of the best legendaries in the game. The value he brings you for 8 mana is out of this world. Not only does he give you a solid 6/6 minion with Taunt and Divine Shield, but he also has the death rattle of equipping what might be the best weapon in the game. Ashbringer costs 5 mana as a standalone card, but Tyrion's death rattle is the equivalent of drawing an Ashbringer, which costs 1 mana, and playing it for a total of 6 mana. Also, if the Sunwalker is the standard to go by, then a 6/6 minion with Taunt and Divine Shield should cost about 7 mana. If we do the math, the body of Tyrion costs about 7 mana, Ashbringer costs 5, and drawing it costs 1 for an insane total of 13 mana, plus 5 that of the cost of the card. It's no surprise then that in Arena, where the ranking of a card depends on its value, he is considered the second best legendary right after Dr. Balanced. Throughout Hearthstone's short history, Tyrion has found himself in all but the extremely aggro Paladin face decks. In the Wotog meta, he single-handedly makes Anzoth Paladin the best and most competitive version of Anzoth decks. He can also be found in some versions of Divine Shield Paladin and in all Reno decks. This is why we put our faith in the light and Tyrion in the number 7 spot in our list.
Bow down before the god of death.
In the number 6 spot is one of the biggest surprises in our list. When the card was first introduced, most pros viewed the card as a fun card that will probably never see any competitive play. Needless to say, most of them were wrong.
I guess it's for fun for sure.
As far as constructed viability, probably not going to see too much, is my guess.
That was so close.
And this is one of those cards that I think is very much this is very unlikely to be the kind of card people reach for as the win condition for their competitive deck.
Might be a little bit more fun than practical, so let's give this a 5 out of 10.
Yogg is at his best when you cast a lot of spells during the game and you are falling behind on the board or your hand is running out of steam. He typically refills your hand with cards, resets the board state, plays some secrets, and or fills your side of the board with minions. Obviously, because it is an RG card, there is the occasional buffing of your enemy's minions, pyro-blasting you in the face or casting an Astral Communion that dumps your hand. On average though, he gives good outcomes because they are more spells that benefit you rather than your opponent in Hearthstone. You have to be careful though when to play him. For example, if you are approaching Fatigue, it would be a bad idea to play him because he can overdraw you and cause you to take tons of fatigue damage. Similarly, if you are ahead on the board, he can reset the board state and wipe out all your board. Yogg has found a home in a couple of competitive decks like Tempo Mage and Token Druid, due to the high amount of spells both of these decks use, and their likelihood to run out of steam as the game progresses. Like Trump said it best in his re-review of Yogg.
Anyways, people thought this was a complete joke card when it was released, but I was like, you know, it actually has some potential. It could be tournament caliber. It turns out that it's a really, really, really good card, and some people have suggested, some pros have suggested, like, nerfing it, not because it's completely random, but actually because it might be too good, shockingly.
That was the best Yogg ever. It lived. Have you guys ever seen Yogg live?
That's it for the bottom 5 legendaries. Stay tuned next week for the exciting top 5 reveal. Don't forget to subscribe and comment below on who your top 10 legendaries are. Thank you for watching.